So I'm going to spend 3 to 4 minutes talking about designing pages for an advisor project. The first principle is what we call horizontal logic. And here's an example of a prospect identification project for the higher education fundraising market. The purpose of this is to find people. So the idea here is that pages lay out the concepts, the workflow that an analyst would go through in finding people for fundraising purposes. So the first page is called Prospect List. It's focused on people, and there's just a list of prospects with a count of how many are currently active versus filtered out, and a couple of filters. Then the rest of the page is the topic areas that an analyst would want to look at. Ratings, there's a chart on capacity rating, attachment score, the list of people, and account. So the concept is this is something you want to look at. It's a topic area. That's the theme of the page. Then the page has the charts that are the supporting or the vertical logic behind the logic of the page. So there's 2 active charts you'd want to filter on, then a list of people so you see who you're looking at in accounts. Another topic area would be staffing. Are the people we're looking at who might be high capacity and engaged staffed or not? There's a chart showing who's they're staffed to. Are they staffed, yes or no, because the no's would not be in the chart over here. And there's a list of people again, and then count over here, because you'd want to know what's their giving been over time. And this page also has charts that support the logic or the thoughts behind what you'd want to look at for somebody's giving history. And so a well-designed project always has this horizontal logic, which is the workflow. Then the design of the pages should be the elements that support the theme of the page. Now let's look at how to add a page. So let's go back to the ratings page. Let's say we want to add a page just like this. We like this page, so we're going to start from scratch. Pretend this doesn't exist, but we're going to use this as a model to build another page. So I click up here on Author, which brings up the authoring ribbon. And at this point, we've already loaded data. I can design pages, pick charts, condition data. I'm going to just add a new page. If I click this, it literally adds a new page. So I get this page property. I'm going to call this Ratings 2 and click OK. This sets up a new blank page in my horizontal logic up here. This should not be here. Let's move this all the way back. Just drag it, click it, drag it left so it's positioned properly in the workflow. Ratings should come first. Now this page, bunch of page properties. So the next under design pages. Here at this point, I could change the title. I could use this page as a separator. This is a separator. This is a separator. So if you're trying to group the logic into themes, like this is a list, and then there's a set of things about the people, then there's a set of pages over here about their giving, which is more kind of how they've responded to us. So, a well-designed project, you want to create logical groupings of the pages and use these tab separators. If I click this page would turn into just a blank separator like this. This is another video on navigation panes. This is where those get set. So now I need to put charts on the page. So I go over here to pick charts. I click this. It's going to let me add charts. Now that page had 2 bar charts. Let's just click this once. There's 1 bar chart. Click it again. There's a second bar chart. I'm going to show you how to copy over the other 2 charts. So let's not worry about them for now. The bar chart, there's a bunch of tables in this project that we've loaded. They're on the entity table. The first one was ratings. So presumably there's a field in the entity table called rating. I click it. I can do a bunch of things with the measures that's in the chart setup. So I'm just going to click it because I want this on the page. So whoops, the ordering, I actually want the high ratings over on the left and the lower ratings over on the right. So let's go down here to the chart properties. Go over here, there's a display, set display order. It's sorted by size. Let's reverse sort it by size. It flips them around. I don't like the titles. Let's clean them up because it just pulled them out of what came in as the data. I label the chart rating. Generally, if you label the chart with one of the axes, you don't also need to label the axis. If the label of the chart was different than the axis, you probably also want to label the axis. And the total count is what we're measuring, but it's actually number of prospects. So let's make this a little clearer. This chart's kind of nicely set up. And now let's hit this one over here, the little arrow at the, in here, I want to go to set it on the table entity. This was attachment. The field was attachment group. Okay. I think it was arranged this way. We're colored by the rating, so it's tiling in the color properly. Let's hit this little thing and let's change the title on this, make it a little simpler again. and take this off because this is completely redundant with the title, and make this number of prospects. Okay, so I've got the two graphical charts that were on this other page, but they're also, and in general on page design, you want to have a list of what you're looking at so you have context, and you want some counts so you know how many you're looking at, because the bar charts, you know, by themselves, you're using them to select and see patterns, but you simply need to see what you're looking at with the full details over on the prospect list page. But I can copy these two pages. So if I'm going to use these on multiple pages, over here under Pick Charts, I add a chart. I can change properties. Copy Chart Inside Advisor. If I click this, it's going to give me a list of the charts on this page. I want to copy the prospect list, so I click OK. Over to the ratings page. This icon up here, paste a chart to the page. There it is. So now I have the prospect list on this page. I also want to grab this prospect count chart. So I go back over here, copy the chart inside Advisor, prospect count, click OK, go to the next page, paste it in. Now obviously I'm on this new page. The page layout is sort of pretty bad. I want to bring this prospect list on top of this prospect count and shrink it down and then make these two bar charts dominant on the page because they're the main things I'm trying to look at. So if I go to the top of any of these charts in the authoring tools, I get this little vertical, horizontal, four-way little thingy. I can left-click now and drag the chart across on top of the prospect count chart. It's going to position it right here, release. And then I can drag the splitter down because I don't need all this room for the prospect count, which is like one row. And now I have that pretty well balanced. Now these two charts are out of balance. There's way too much horizontal room for this one versus this one. So I can either grab the splitter, drag it across, or grab this thing at the top. And if I tile the chart in so they're positioned like this, is going to equally space them. So it's going to align them properly. I might say, oh, well, there's more bars here, so they're smaller. I maybe want to drag this back a little bit to make it a little more representative. But now I have my page designed, and if I was to go up here, File, Save the project, or save it under new name because I don't want to save over the old one. I've saved my updated project with the new page, and I'm done. So thanks for listening to this short tutorial on how to design pages.